Hello, Libra. This is your reading. As we head into Valentine's Day, just consider this reading. I know we're halfway through February, and Valentine's Day is tomorrow or today, depending on when you watch this video. So, this reading is just basically to give you some understanding of what might be happening for Valentine's Day, but more importantly, what will be happening after. In the next few weeks afterwards. How will your relationship or your romantic energy actually work out? So I'm doing my traditional spread, 3 cards for the past, 3 for the present, 3 for the future, and then 1 card for the outcome. Okay? So let's get started. These are the past. I have a Queen of Swords, and I believe that is Libra. Oh my God. That's Libra's significator, according to this deck. I have a King of Pentacles. Okay. And then I have a Knight of Cups. Okay. So that is your past. Let's look at your present. I have the World. I have a Knight of Wands. And then I have an 8 of Cups. Okay. 3 more cards for the main reading. I have a 3 of Pentacles. I have a 7 of Pentacles. So Pentacles are very slow. They represent Earth. And then I have Death. And so this is, okay, well, let's see what's going on here. Well, first off, our significator is, this is the Witch's Tarot deck, and the Queen of Swords represents Libra. So if that's a good omen from our oracle, I don't know what is. Okay. As far as major arcana, this is interesting. You have 2. You have the World. And this is a card of success and victory. It means that you've conquered your spiritual obstacles and you're ready to move on to a new chapter. And it also means rebirth. It's the last card in the major arcana. There are 22 cards. The Fool doesn't really have a number, it's 0. But from 1 to 22, there are 21 cards. And so the World is number 21. And again, it brings you to the end of a journey. You go through all the other major arcana cards, and then you end up at the World and start over. And so it's very interesting that you have Death now. Please don't panic. Many people want to say, oh, no, we're going to break up, you know. No, none of that's going on. It simply means a transformation, the death of the old and the beginning of the new, a rebirth. After death, there's a resurrection. And that's always a good thing. Sometimes we need to close those chapters. Okay? And you have a number of cards that are about endings. You also have that 8 of Cups, which is about taking emotional space and letting go. Sometimes we need to leave things behind. Because they're no longer necessary. You know, sometimes if a relationship isn't working out, sometimes emotionally we just need to move on with our lives. Okay? Leaving the past behind. And also setting healthy boundaries. So I see that coming through with these 2 major arcana and the 8 of Cups as a very strong theme for you. Now, one more thing, the root card in this reading, which is sort of like the base or the root issue that I'm addressing. You have a Knight of Wands. Now, wands represent fire. Knights represent action. Fire is about inspiration. It's about being passionate and yet fearless. You're not afraid of adventure. You're not afraid to strike out. Something exciting is going to happen, but it's also about unexpected things like just being inspired to do something. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an adventure. Sometimes when you see the Knight of Wands in your reading, it's about making a very bold move and taking a risk. So this definitely makes sense, this present energy, because you have the World, closing of a chapter, rebirth. Knight of Wands in the middle. It's about making a bold move and striking out. And that bold move might actually entail you breaking away from a relationship and striking out on your own for something better. Okay, so I just explained actually your whole present situation. When we backtrack to the past, again, this is interesting because there's a Queen of Swords here, Libra, which represents you. It could be man or woman. The Queen is a passive energy here. Then it's followed by a King of Pentacles, which is the husband, the father, Pentacles. And likewise, the Queen of Pentacles represents the housewife. Whenever you see Pentacles, you're looking at the material world. You're looking at house and home and money. And so I'm very intrigued by this little pairing here, that maybe this is you and your partner, maybe living together, maybe a marriage, maybe not. But I do see a relationship that is somewhat grounded. But then we have this Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups, remember, knights take action. And it could very well be an issue with seeking love. You see the knight is traveling away from this king. And so someone is taking their love somewhere. There's a transition happening because knights also represent change. When you see a horse, you have a Knight of Cups here and a Knight of Wands here. So it's very intriguing that you have these two knights. This is the Knight of love and emotion. But then we go from water to fire. And so I'm definitely seeing a very strong change and shift in your relationship that's going to probably lead you to emotionally taking that bold risk that if the relationship's not working out, you might need an emotional timeout. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're leaving forever. As I said with death, this is about transformation, getting rid of things that don't serve you, and having a rebirth. And that's always good for relationships. So when we get here to the future, lots of pentacles, very slow, but grounded and stable. Pentacles energy, you think, you look at things the way they are, you're practical. It's a much better practical energy. So, when you look at this Three of Pentacles, normally outside of relationship readings, the Three of Pentacles is about applying yourself and studying. And it's also about hard work in a relationship reading. It can mean focusing and committing to a relationship. But you have this Seven of Pentacles, and that's the card of waiting. You see the man with the wand again? So it's interesting. Again, it's interesting. You have that Knight of Wands. He's holding the wand, and he's all about action and speedy outcomes. But then things slow down. You're with the wand, and you're waiting. And it seems like you might be really impatient about a relationship. Someone asks you, please stick around. Don't leave yet. Come back. And you're like, okay, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And keep in mind, because you're an air sign, you're very, very analytical, right? So that's kind of what I'm starting to see evolve here, where you're trying to negotiate this relationship emotionally. And you kind of feel like maybe things will get better, maybe not. So that's when we come to death, transformation. And it doesn't necessarily mean, again, it doesn't necessarily mean leaving a relationship or someone is breaking up, but it definitely means that there's going to be a lot of soul searching for you. And, you know, making the decision that something has to change. You and your partner are like, something has to change. And it could be an event or something that keeps you both waiting. as far as the relationship goes. That you're both trying to take some time out and give things a chance to simmer down, so to speak, from all that Knight of Wands fire energy. So let me pull this outcome card. Okay, the outcome card is a King of Wands. So this bold action that the Knight of Wands started, it feels as if the King of Wands is like, okay, I approve of this change. So let's just stick to that. It feels as if you've waited around and you're ready to get going. Also keep in mind that Death also has a wand as well. So these wands are very important for you, Libra. Because in a way, the relationship between fire and air is about air keeps fire alive, right? But it feels as if you're already contemplating a decision about the relationship and you're ready to take a bold action, like taking a break, an emotional break. Or it could be the partner, or it could be both of you. Like, let's take a break emotionally. And so waiting and just focusing on other things. You know, you kind of make a decision, okay, this is what it is. But it feels as if the earlier decision that you want to get out has been kind of reaffirmed, especially since the King of Wands follows Death, that you're going to move forward with this new change. Okay, so yes, Death could mean an ending of the relationship, and you decide, you know, this is what needs to happen, so I need to move forward what I originally planned, and that's pretty much the energy of where your romantic situation is. Now, this change and transformation, again, it can happen in different ways. Maybe this is the ending of you being emotionally distant. But I do see this Knight of Wands giving me a sense of you wanting to end things or end a bad situation. You want to get out of it with this Eight of Cups. And the King of Wands is underscoring that decision. You're like, okay, I thought about it, and now I think that this is what needs to happen. It could be you, could be the other person, but I definitely feel it's you in this situation, because sometimes air signs, they're very analytical, and once they make a decision, it's like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. So, Libra, that was your reading. I know I've been away for quite a while. I'll try to explain later. As far as my tarot readings, I'm offering $15 phone readings for $10. So go to tarotbyaire.com, check it out, and I hope to meet some new clients, and I hope to reconnect with my old clients. So I hope you're doing well. Enjoy yourself, okay? Be good to yourself. The best love is self-love, okay? So I'll see you next month. I'll be around. And as always, I wish you love and light.